What is going on? Diamond Rice here, coming at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Destiny 2. Now, you may be wondering, Diamond, wasn't this a game that was on the console? It was. The first game was on the consoles. It was only on there. It was on the Xbox 360, the PS3, Xbox One, and the PS4. Now, with the release of the sequel, it is time to have the PC community bring into this game. Obviously, with this new port, supposedly going to be done by Activision Blizzard, which is basically all the studios that are under it. So Activision, Blizzard, and all those other companies. One of those companies is Vicarious Visions, who is mostly known for Guitar Hero and the Skylander series. So the port of the games will be made by them, so hopefully it's good, but it doesn't seem like they make PC ports before, so this is going to be very interesting how this is going to work out. Another oversight I see with the PC version, just oversight in general, is just how it's going to be on the Blizzard launcher, or the Battle.net. It is let's put it this way. I like it. I don't like how it's another launcher because of the fact that I have multiple launchers just for the other games. Like, honestly, but between, let's say, put it this way, the Quake series, the Need for Speed series, the Mass Effect series, and other things, I have at least 5 or so different launchers just to play these particular games. From Origin to Steam to Uplay to GOG. It gets kind of crazy. And also the Windows Store as well. But that's obviously only on Windows 10. Which, I put it this way. I put the Windows Store platform, which was obviously only DX12 and Windows 10 compatible PCs are able to play on the Windows Store, aka Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, are examples of those particular games. But it seems like that would have been the worst case scenario, but it didn't happen. It only went into the Blizzard launcher, which honestly I think I'm okay with. It's just gonna have to depend exactly what happens with Bungie, or, you know, if, let's say, for example, they use dedicated servers. But the rumor has it, and most people are saying this, is there are no dedicated servers across the entire platform, PC and also the console. So this game itself will be supposedly different, but I really think it's just going to be another peer-to-peer service hosting thing. So host is going to be a very, very interesting thing. Especially, it got really kind of bad, especially on the Xbox 360 version, the one I was playing on. Oh man, matches were so bad sometimes, especially in multiplayer. It got kind of ridiculous how, let's put it this way, people became bullet sponges, people are bouncing around the map, and just, you know, just in general, just not being able to kill them, and just disconnecting, jumping around on the map and other things. So it's going to be interesting how this game will work out on PC. Now, obviously, I'm an avid fan of the game. I really did like the gameplay that was done. The shooting mechanics was very fun. It was something I enjoyed in Destiny 1. And some of the maps and locations were good too, but I think I thrived more in the multiplayer. It was something I really did like. Like, I think I played the Iron Banter like literally every week or so when I first started playing like 2 years ago. It was ridiculous how much I played. Apparently it showed because I had a lot of Iron Banter wins looking at my stats once or another. But remember, I was only playing on the Xbox 360. Up until that point in time, I still did not have the Xbox One or the PS4, and even to this day I still don't have those consoles either. So I pretty much am primarily a PC gamer, and I'm glad to see that the Destiny 2 is coming to PC, and it seems like it's coming with the standard, what was supposedly standard options: 4K resolution support, uncapped frame rate, the full mouse and keyboard support, and with custom mapping as well. Another insight I see, especially with the Blizzard launcher, is using the text chat and the field of view, PC setting screens, the monitor support, those kinds of things. A game should have those standard. It doesn't have to be shown as the actual options these days. Like, listing it as a feature of the PC, like the PC port, it shouldn't be what it is now. But unfortunately, that's how it is nowadays, honestly, because some games don't have these kinds of support, even though it should be standard. Like, FOV should be a standard, regardless of whatever you say with any kind of game, especially on PC. It should be a standard, and it should be given at all times. But unfortunately, it has to be listed as a feature because some games don't actually do so. According to some of the listings, at least from the release day, the gameplay that got released back a couple weeks ago, back in the middle of May, there is a whole PC setting screen, which I'll be showing on screen right now, and it shows that it does have a lot of what you can change. So, the textures, the ambient occlusion, the motion blur, character details, shadows, depth of field. It gets kind of crazy how many options this game has. So, in theory, yes, this could be a good proper PC port, but we never know yet because there's no gameplay. There's no gameplay being shown unless if you went to that launch event, or the gameplay launch event. So, I'm hoping to see that in E3 that we would see more gameplay. We'll see the PC gameplay and showing what hopefully it will be a good thing. So, now that I talked about the PC port, and and other things, let's talk about what is new in this game. Well, apparently, according to the storyline that we're shown on all the trailers that maybe have you seen or whatnot, apparently this new Cabal unit, I guess they call it the Red Legion, is this new enemy that is being controlled by this person called Gaul, or apparently, as Cade calls him, Gary. So this looks like a new enemy. It looks like it broke into the last city as what you were using as your home base pretty much in Destiny 1, and it pretty much exploded everything. So all the weapons, the shops, and I don't know, it gets kind of crazy from what I saw, especially from the trailers. But obviously at this point in time, there's not a lot being shown about the game. A lot of people were they only had access to one of the strikes and then the Crucible event, which was I'll talk about in a little bit later. So there's not a lot being shown, but it seems to be something that Destiny 1 was lacking, which was an actual story mode. So I hope for sure that it would actually have an actual story mode this time, but we never know. Maybe it's just gonna be really bad like it was in Destiny 1 again, but let's see about that. A new addition to Destiny 2 is the example of guided games. Now the point of guided games is like a mixture of looking for groups, or LFG as most people call it, and matchmaking. Now one thing in Destiny 1 that I did not like was the fact that you cannot matchmake the raids, Prison of Elders, or some of the Nightfall strikes as well, and also the Trials of Osiris as well. So with those things, you cannot matchmake in those particular games, and I was not able to play any of those unless you had a group, you had other people with you to play at those certain times. So coordinating like a 5 or 6 man group for raids was very hard to do, especially if you don't have, let's say, friends who are on the same system, or let's say other things like that. So it's going to be interesting what actually happens with this guided games. I feel like the idea of this is to, let's say you're a solo player like me, say you're a solo player or you want to play some of the new things. So apparently this guided games option is to point to a clan, which is now also implemented into the game, that will hopefully allow you to play through the entire raid, the entire strike, or any of those kinds of things, and pretty much allows you to play through it. They basically help you throughout the raid for the very first time, and hopefully if you do want to, you could join them, or why not, just with no strings attached, just literally just go ahead and keep playing again and continue on. So I don't know, I feel like this would be a good thing. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work out, especially, you know, there could be some weird things with the clans or whatnot, or maybe they actually boot you or kick you out before, let's say, the rewards happen. So that could be interesting how this will settle out. In Crucible, at least in the Crucible PvP, or whatever you like to call it, there is a new game mode called Countdown, which is basically Counter-Strike from what I saw from the gameplay so far, and it's Counter-Strike with revives, let's put it that way. Now the revive system apparently only works when you're actually dead, and you have a certain set amount of lives from what I saw from the gameplay, but maybe we'll see some more hopefully on E3 later this week and see exactly what actually happens with that. But anyways, this bomb defusal, it's basically a bomb defusal type kind of gameplay, so you get the point. Plant the bomb, defuse it, or kill the other enemy team and try to win pretty much. And that was something I actually did like about what they did. Destiny is gonna, or at least the PvP side of things, is gonna be 4v4. So instead of the crazy hectic thing that was, I think it was 6v6. It was either 5v5 or 6v6 in Destiny 1. I can't remember because I haven't played in a while, but I feel like 4v4 was a good mindset, something easy that could be easily done. So according to the UI and some other things, we do have the same classes, or we have the same classes. We have the Titan, we have the Warlock, and we also have the what's his name? Hunter. Sorry, I was like, I'd say those particular classes. The subclasses of those ones from Destiny 1 are apparently returning, but we're also getting a couple of new ones too. So the Warlock gets a Dawnblade subclass, which is pretty much a sword-wielding power badass, if you want to put it that way, from what I saw from the gameplay. So Warlock is my particular character, and he's my primary, so I'm actually happy for that. The Sentinel is basically Captain America style Titan with a shield that can do some other damaging things, so hopefully that will be something good. Arcstrider, I feel like it's just going to be Blade Dancer subclass revamped, but I don't know. That's from what I saw so far, but maybe, like I said, if we have more gameplay being shown, maybe it'll be something good. So other things I saw, especially from the trailers and so far, apparently the Fist of Havoc of the Titan from the, I forgot the name of the subclass, please forgive me about that, but apparently it's now time managed, so you can pretty much do it as, it's not one and done anymore. You can actually spam it if you consider it, if you want to consider it that way. Apparently the Gunslinger of the Hunter also is spammable now too, so you can spam as much shots as you want without being limited to like 2 shots, 3 shots, however many it was. I think it was 3 shots at most. So that's it gets kind of crazy what it's going to be doing for those new subclasses with new abilities and things, so it's going to be fun. I hope, at least. One way, there's another thing I actually did like what they did, is that how they revamped the weapon slot. In Destiny 1, we had we had ways to organize the weapons as primaries, secondaries, and heavy. Which in the primaries were pretty much auto rifles, handguns, scout rifles, and I think that's it. Secondary weapons were pretty much the shotguns, sniper rifles, fusion rifles, and sidearms. And heavy weapons were pretty much the LMGs, swords, and rocket launchers. In Destiny 2, it's going to be different. So they're having 3 different slots, same idea, but this time kinetic, power, and like energy flavor. So the kinetic slot is pretty much like the standard weapons, like every pretty much like the handguns, auto rifles, and other things. Those ones pretty much are going to stay the same more or less. The energy weapons are pretty much going to be the second slot. So you can have basically 2 hand cannons, one of them being an elemental one, or you know, maybe like a hand cannon or an auto rifle or a scout rifle and the other things. So that's going to be very interesting mindset that's going to happen there. But the power weapons is where everything changes. So now the shotguns, basically all the shotguns and literally all the heavier weapons got replaced and put into that particular category. So now you can't run a shotgun anymore like all the time. You actually have to have it in your 3rd slot, which could be beneficial, but now you can't be playing it with an LMG or with your sword or whatever else that's going to be in that slot too. So they basically combined the special and heavy weapons. They basically combined them into one and called them power weapons. And also there's now 2 different archetypes now. There's now SMGs and also a grenade launcher as well for the thing. So it's going to be very interesting how a multitude worth of weapon variety is going to happen here. Maybe not like, probably won't happen like Borderlands style weapon varieties, but it got kind of close. It got really close to it. So some other miscellaneous things I saw from Destiny 2 so far. You can turn off the HUD, which is very good for filmmakers and other things. People just want to make like montages and things, so that's going to be very nice. And the load screens are very limited. You don't need to go back into orbit, so you'll get right back into the action very faster compared to other times. That was one of the things I did not like in Destiny 1, especially the load times on the 360 was horrible. Like I couldn't quick switch weapons because of how slow the thing had to be loaded in and things. So level cap is still level 20. It's still that feels like it's going to be the max, like it is what it was in vanilla Destiny, but it seems like the light level is going to be the one where you can level up still, like it is right now in the Rise of Iron expansion right now. So it's going to be interesting what they're going to do with this game. I really think they're going to do a good job with it, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So hey, we never know. I think Bungie will do a good job with this game. They need to do well, especially on the PC port. So obviously, Destiny is coming out for PC and Xbox One and PS4. The consoles have its release date. We do not know what's going to happen for Destiny 2 on the PC yet. So hopefully by E3 we will have a definitive date, but it's going to be this week, so we're going to figure out if it does. The question for me, at least, is will I break my don't pre-order PC games? Because one of the things I hate on PC is having a bad PC port and not being able to play it because of the fact of how broken the game is. Look what happened to Arkham Knight as an example, and some other. There hasn't been that much of bad PC ports recently, but it's not as. There's good ones, there's bad ones, and there's some of the average ones. Hopefully, this game it will hit a home run pretty much. I really hope it does as a PC port. So I hope this commentary was helpful for you guys, because honestly I felt like it was hard to make this one, but you know, I think Destiny 2 will be good. Let's just hope and see what happens next. So obviously I'm buying it on PC. That's going to be my primary system, and it's what I'm going to buy it on. So hope to see you guys soon. Later.